Let people enjoy what they enjoy. Hi there. I'm Jeff, the SP Spaz, and welcome to another Wild Wednesday. These are the times where I do videos where they're not for the easily offended, because I'm telling you things that you may not always want to hear, that sometimes are kind of rants or whatever. But if you are easily offended, or you just don't feel like listening to me rant about something today, then feel free to skip this video rather than trying to shut down my channel over it, or committing violence to someone or something like that. I was reading the YouTube rules again, and one of their things is they talk about no speech that incites people to violence. So anything you ever hear me say, I'm not telling you to commit violence. I promise. Not even against people who really, really deserve it. Okay. So today, what I want to talk about is I don't understand the people who are so committed to trying to control other people that they can't just let people enjoy what they want to enjoy. And I'm not talking about when what people enjoy is something that hurts you or has a direct effect on you. I'm talking about the people, because I see this all the time, that tell other people, even sometimes people that are on the other side of the world, or somewhere they're never going to actually encounter them, their behavior is never going to directly affect them, but they want to tell them how to live their life, even down to things like how they should enjoy their food. People will say things like, oh, pineapple doesn't belong on pizza, or steak shouldn't be well done. If people enjoy pineapple on pizza or well done steak, there's nothing wrong with that. That's how those people enjoy that. It doesn't mean you have to do it that way. It doesn't mean that, they're not causing any kind of problem with the world by the fact that they have a different preference than you. And this goes across the board for so many things, that when I encounter the type of people that want to dictate those things, they usually want to dictate a bunch of other things too. And I do not understand, I cannot fathom what it is like to actually spend a second of your day worrying about how someone else likes their food. Somebody else somebody else puts in their coffee, or all that kind of stuff. And it extends beyond just food. It's just I happen to think about food a lot. But that's the general thing I'm trying to get across, is I guess why. I want to know why. So I'm ranting, but I'm also sort of asking. Maybe somebody can comment about if you are one of those people who worries about how people who have repeatedly said things like, or have shared pictures on Facebook or other stuff about, showed a picture of like a steak that's well done and say like, this is how you ruin a steak, or things like that, where you've tried to like basically say this right way of doing this thing for everybody. If you're one of the people who's done that, explain to me what it is that actually motivates that. Like, why do you think it's important to dictate how other people enjoy things? Because I don't understand it. At no point in my day do I think, because I like to put pepper on my food, that everyone else should put pepper on their food. I mean, I might like to tell people, yeah, it's good with pepper, and maybe you might like it too if you never tried it. Things like that. But I don't try to dictate to people like, oh, it's not the real whatever if you don't, it's not a real hamburger if you don't put mayonnaise on it. I mean, come on, like, that's dumb. So I do not understand that concept. And before people try to confuse these things, it doesn't mean I don't have strong opinions about things. You can have strong opinions without thinking that your opinion needs to be forced on everybody. And I see this, so much. Again, I'm not going to get into politics in this particular video, though I may in some in the future. But to me, it sort of extends on those things too, because you have the people, their political views is based on anything they don't like. They basically want the government to ban it. Or the opposite, the things they do like, they want the government to promote it and spend money on it. And it's like, that's not what the purpose of government is. to like use your personal whims of controlling people. And even if you take government out of it, there's still people who just operate like that on a daily basis, that they want their opinions to be enforced in some capacity, or everybody should live by that. And I have almost the opposite viewpoint. I feel like it would be boring if everybody agreed with me, if everybody did things the way I did them. I feel like what kind of robotic uniform society are we that everybody's doing things exactly the same way? To me, that's nonsense and sounds extremely wrong and on all levels. So yeah, let people enjoy what they enjoy the way they enjoy it. If they're not hurting you, leave them alone, and don't tell them that they're doing it the wrong way, because that's stupid, and it always will be, regardless. And I realize, of course, on a channel where I talk about instinct a lot and differences in type, that there are types that are probably more prone to that than others. And so somebody might say, well, Jeff, you're telling people to be themselves, but then you're trying to tell them to deny this part of themselves. No, I'm expressing my opinion. I understand that there are going to be people that's just how they're going to be. I'm not trying, again, I'm not trying to control people in the sense that when I say stop doing that, it's just me expressing frustration. I don't actually expect people to change the way they behave based on that. But if there's anybody that is sort of on the borderline there, where they're really only perpetuating those things because they're the type of person who just kind of wants to be with the crowd and do what everybody else is doing, maybe me telling them this might make them think twice about, well, why am I sharing this thing that says, it's not real chili if it's got beans in it or something like that? Am I doing it because I really believe that, or just, that I really care what people are doing, or whether this is just the thing that's the trendy thing to share? So maybe there's a few people that might change their behavior based on me kind of pointing that out to them. So even if I reach just a couple of people that stop perpetuating that, maybe I'll have achieved something. So who knows? I try to be optimistic. So, all right, I naturally am optimistic. So anyway, be sure to like and share this video with all of your friends that tell people what to do and how to enjoy their stuff. And if you haven't already subscribed, do that too. And if you have one of those amazing setups that's got that little bell thing to hit, where you'll be notified whenever I upload an amazingly interesting video like this one, then be sure to hit that too. So you will never go a day without fresh SP Spaz content. And join us next time for another Wild Wednesday.